So, the story of Koch.
Oh, yeah.
And the others.
Yeah. And you never told me about the death of Koch.
Yeah, so it was like, yeah, how is, well, Koch was one scholar, German scholar. He has publications in German in Assyriology about cuneiform texts. So I sent him my article about the Astrolabe, and he answered. He answered with an article in this French journal, NABU.
That's right.
Yeah. Which means Nouvelle. What was Assyriology?
Yeah.
Bref et utile, which is like assyriological news, short and useful.
Yeah. Short and
Well, they are making up this the name of the divinity, Nabu.
Yes, Nabu, yes.
Mercury.
Yep.
Hermes.
Yep.
So they published his article, which was intended to destroy me. And as I told you, I was in correspondence with Koch. Actually, this was the only scholar who kept connection with me after I sent them my article about the Babylonian Astrolabe. So this makes him stand out because the others just disappeared. The syndrome of the disappearing scholar. But you see, this article is dangerous. No, if they say, "Oh yeah, that's it, that's great,"
yeah,
that we finally understand the structure of the text and the dating of the different layers, where they come from. If they say this means that they will talk against all big hot shots in this field who have published books, who decide who will get which grant, who will go on in some university, and so on. So that's why they disappeared. And Koch was the only one who kept some kind of communication. So I asked him about his opinion about my article about the Babylonian Astrolabe, which I date to 5500 BC. There are several layers, but the most ancient is this one. So well, the book is here actually. So that's the book. Yeah. So I asked all these scholars about their opinion about this article. This was way before the book was out. This was somewhere in 2008, 9, 10.
Yeah.
So I sent this article to, I don't know, 10 scholars, 20 with which I had connection. I exchanged ideas, and maybe more, 10, 20 more that I found their emails.
Yeah.
And I didn't get an answer from nobody. Well, I was in a friendly kind of connection with these people through emails. We exchanged ideas. We talked about books, about texts. And suddenly, they disappeared. All of them.
Yeah.
All of them. So I wrote, of course, emails to these people with which I had a correspondence before. What is happening? Can they tell me what they think? And nobody replied. Actually, two guys replied. Brown, there was one scholar in Assyriology, Brown, David Brown. He has publications. Yes, he has publications. I think he also a book. Actually, is this not big book by him that I showed you yesterday? Do you remember the book? Let's see. This is the guy. This one.
Oh, this one. Yes.
David Brown, yes.
Right.
Yes, David Brown. He has published comparatively recently this excellent book, which is huge, and has many things. So he answered me. He told me, if you want an opinion, send this article to scholarly journal in the field of Assyriology. That's all. No personal opinion.
Yeah.
Then Koch answered me and told me, you will read my answer in the French Assyriologic journal NABU. Good. From his kind of communication, I understood that he is preparing to try to destroy me.
Yeah.
But I was waiting for this article, excited. I was thinking that maybe I have made mistake somewhere, maybe I had some detail. So I was open. I was open to read, to see what he has come to. When I read his article, when I read like the first sentences, and I knew immediately that this was bullshit.
Right. Wow.
I read the whole article, everything, and I answered him in NABU, this French Assyriologic journal, and I destroyed him. And then he published a second article, again trying to destroy me.
Yeah.
And I write a second answer, this time destroying him fully.
Yeah.
And I send it to NABU, and I wait for an answer. Well, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 1 month. I think it was somewhere in the second month when I became very angry, and I wrote them very, very angry email, threatening them with the wrath of God, the truth. Yeah, these are people, scholars. They're supposed to, well, if not give their lives for the truth. There are some examples. If not this, at least to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and I also wrote them that as scholars, they serve. They're servant of the truth. Servants of the truth. And they cannot ignore an answer to something that they published.
Yep.
And after this angry email, I got answer from the editors of NABU. And the answer was, who the hell do you think you are? We were somewhere in Egypt or somewhere on a trip, on an expedition, and so on and so on. And then, yeah, we have looked at your article, and we will not publish it because, can you guess why? They gave me reason why they will not publish my answer to Koch. They said because Koch has already passed away. There is no reason to publish your answer to somebody who is already dead.
So
this is the biggest joke. The biggest joke. And so they didn't publish my answer to Koch. However, in 2013, when my book came out, which the scholar Simo Parpola helped me a lot to publish. Actually, he published this book in his series on Assyriology, State Archives of Assyria Studies, volume 22. So this is in the academic stream. This is not a job. This is not samizdat, self-publish, or some kind of publishing house which is not academic. No, this is academic stream. And they must answer, they must write review, they must discuss. Because here there are some things which will blow the whole edifice of history of science. Actually, if there was astronomical system, if there was total description of the whole sky, then they had 36 constellations, and if they observed the sky in such detail as to remember which three constellations rose heliacally every month. This is the astrolabe, and the most ancient layer is coming from 5500 BC. And I prove this here. And so, in this book, which came out 2013, I published my answer to Koch in this book. And I also named this guys from the NABU, the editors of NABU. So I'm trying to see where, I think it was somewhere here. I published somewhere here in the book, which was a gratification for me. Yeah. Finally, no, it was somewhere. I think in the beginning of a chapter. It was in the beginning of a chapter. Here, page 89, discussion and conclusions. So, note 83. Here I describe the whole story. In 2008, I sent my complete research to Johannes Koch in a private email. And then 2 years later, he published in NABU 2 articles discussing my results and conclusions, 2010. In his second article, Koch invents a new theory of the paths. And here he describes this. I destroy him, of course.
Yeah.
And then in the end, it should also be noted that the editors of NABU, Professor Durand, Durand, and Professor Charpin, Charpin, did not publish, so this Professor Durand and Charpin did not publish my answer to the second article by Koch. Because of this, I am giving my explicit answer to his second article here. So this is the story of Koch, the Astrolabe, NABU, and the death of Koch.
Wow.
So, yeah, NABU in exactly where? Yeah, his second article is in NABU 2010, number of the volume 3, pages 59 to 62. This was his second article, and his first article in NABU is again in 2010, volume 2, pages 53 to 56. So you can find. I actually have these articles, of course, in my archive. But this is only one story. Only one story about my meetings with the scholars. Sounds scary. It is really scary. It is Byzantine corridors there everywhere.
Yeah.
People with
cloak and dagger.
With cloak and daggers looking for each other.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's an interesting experience.
Koch, the Astrolabe, NABU, and the passing away of Koch. How will you connect all of this? That's absurd. Come on. So I cannot publish anything against the system of Ptolemy, that the Earth is in the center and everything moves around, circles around the Earth. So this is what Ptolemy said, right? So I cannot criticize Ptolemy because he's dead. Is that what this Professor Durand and Charpin are telling me? You know, it's such a hypocrisy there, just like in politics.
It's crazy, yeah. Wow.
They have this political correct views on history of science, and anything which contradicts this.
Yeah.
So until now, there is no review of this book. When something comes in the academic stream, the review usually comes in the first 3 months.
Yeah.
In very special cases, in the first 2 years. So what is this? It's a joke. And do you know the story about Hunger? Herman Hunger. Herman Hunger published so many translations of cuneiform astronomical, astrological texts. He is one of the pillars of 20th century, late 20th century Assyriology. He worked with Pingree together.
Yes.
They published together a lot of translations, articles.
Yes.
And so I am in Bulgaria, and I'm sending my article about the astrolabe, because before that book, I wrote article about how many pages? Maybe 12 pages, short article, where were the main ideas and findings, which I later transformed in a book. So I am sending this article to different journals in the field, and maybe, let's see, maybe 3 or 4 have already rejected the article, and I send it to a Revue Assyriologique, which is the French most respected journal of Assyriology. And I send it there. I'm waiting for response. It usually comes very, very quickly. And it is no. But there is no quick reply. And I go to Austria. I go to Vienna to get some texts. When I was there, I went also to lessons in Sumerian and in Akkadian. The teacher in Akkadian was Herman Hunger.
Wow.
I copied a lot of material there about cuneiform, about Babylonian astronomy, astrology, Sumerian, all kinds of things. They have a very good library in the Oriental Institute there. The boss is Herman Hunger.
Yep.
And I go in the office of Herman Hunger.
Yep.
And I splash on the table my article. And I say, look, guy, look, dude. This article now is in the Revue Assyriologique, the French journal. And I am waiting for answer.
Yep.
Whether they will publish it or not. And if they say no, you will publish this article in your journal, which is called Archiv für Orientforschung. And he was tall guy, thin, with big bones, something like Saturn type.
Right. Yes.
With such long face.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's sitting like this. With, oh yeah. Ich werde mich sehen, yeah. Yes, I'll see, I'll take in account your article, I'll read it. And I remember I went there several times, maybe 4 times to his until I was there. Every week there was Akkadian language by Herman Hunger. He was the teacher, and they were very interesting. We did some exercises, very nice. It's a feast of the spirit, and also Sumerian. Sumerian is much more exciting,
right,
than Akkadian, because the Sumerians they wrote with symbols. Symbols.
Yeah.
Every symbol also had a phonological value, kind of a syllable.
Yeah.
Ka, ke, ki, ma, mi, mu, and it meant a lot of things.
Right, that's right. Yes.
It meant a lot of things like a symbol. It meant a lot of things like pronunciation. So it's much more exciting Sumerian. So I go back to Bulgaria, and I'm waiting for this answer from the Revue Assyriologique. And I waited for 3 or 4 months, which is unheard of. And finally, one day, I look in my computer and I have, imagine what? I have email from guess who? From Herman Hunger. Well, I have not received emails. I think this was the first email. And guess what? Herman Hunger tells me, I am the reviewer for Revue Assyriology. because when these scholarly journals, when they receive article for publication, they send it to a reviewer in the field.
Yeah.
So if this is Babylonian astronomy, astrology, this is every journal has some guy who is very, very knowledgeable in this, or several as reviewers.
Yes.
And in this case, this turned out to be Herman Hunger. And these reviewers are kept secret. The journals will not tell you who is the reviewer. They will just tell you this is a knowledgeable guy, professor, so he knows what he's talking about. So Herman Hunger writes me an email, and in this email, he informs me. That he is the reviewer of Review Assyriology, and that his opinion is that this article should not see the light of the day.
Oh, wow. What a guy. What a guy.
But you see, I can see his soul torn apart by the two powers. The dark and the light, the bright, the light. Because the fact that he was hesitating for 3 months and more than 3 months.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
This tells about the battle in his poor soul.
Yes, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Wow. Wow.
And finally,
He chose the dark side.
He falls in the abyss of the dark.
Yeah, wow. Interesting story. Wow. Gosh.
Then I had exchange later with Hunger in one platform. It was a closed discussion group of scholars in Assyriology. And I became a member of this internet group, and there we exchanged several posts that were visible for the whole group. Of course, I was attacked there by one idiot from Australia, this enthusiast.
Right, interesting.
You know about him?
No, I don't know. No.
My God, give me this book. His name is. He has one very nice. Actually, he has very nice site about Babylonian astronomy and astrology.
Wow.
And his name is Gary Thompson. Gary Thompson.
Very Australian name. Yep.
So there was this Gary Thompson there. He's enthusiast. He's a layman, but he gathered a lot of information about Babylonian astrology, astronomy. So he was completely agreeing with the scholars. Of course, I sent him my article too. And again, he became very hostile and disappeared.
Yeah.
And he would agree with the official line in everything.
Yeah.
So Gary Thompson in this internet platform attacked me with some vicious post, trying to destroy everything that I have explained in my article. And then I see what Gary Thompson writes because he's quoting some text, and he says this data from these texts is against what you say, and this and that. I saw very well that he was very, very confused, and that I can easily destroy him, which I did. But in the process, also another fly came around, which was destroyed too, together with the first fly, Gary Thompson. The second fly. So because Gary Thompson publishes this absolutely stupid post, which could be destroyed by anyone with 2 grams brains
cells
in
to rub together, 2 gray pieces of matter to rub together. Yeah.
So and Gary Thompson publishes this stupid post for everybody to see how he's trying to destroy me in a very stupid way. But I don't answer immediately. Yeah. I was busy with something, and I was having fun with this article, with this post. And then what happens is, next day, Herman Hunger publishes a post and says, short post, and says, Gary Thompson is right. I agree with him. And my God, I said, is this so? So I write an answer with which I absolutely destroyed Gary Thompson, but also Herman Hunger. Herman Hunger. Because, what was the heart of the matter? I was when I was making this research on the Astrolabe text, I published this text, and there are these constellations ordered by the months and by the paths. Yeah. The paths are whether the constellation arises from the east, which is the central path belonging to Anu, from the northern part, which belongs to Enlil, or from the southern part of the horizon, which belongs to Enki. And there are 12 months and 3 paths, and there are constellations ordered there. Yeah. And I date when the constellations rose from these places on the horizon. If the text says that a certain constellation arises from the northern part, I compute in which periods of time this constellation for the latitude of Mesopotamia really, in reality, rose from the same path.
Yeah. Yes.
And, Gary Thompson comes up with the argument, okay, but do you know that there are these texts here which where the positions of the constellations are not at all like in your text, which you analyze and say that it's 5,500 BC. But look at this text here, the positions of the constellations are completely different. Texts which in reality I have not considered here in my article. However, I knew about these texts, and I knew everything about them. And the fact was that actually the constellations in these texts, quoted by the enthusiast from Australia, Gary Thompson, which I will be very interested if you can find this guy in person
Right.
in person and go and send him this video, show him and watch with him this video.
Yeah.
I know how you will win him. You go humble and you say, "Oh, I'm very interested in Babylonian astronomy texts about the sky."
Yeah.
Don't tell, at least in the beginning, that you are astrologer, that you sympathize with astrology. So I found your site, so many things there, and then play him this video. So Gary Thompson says, okay, because there are these texts, the constellations are not where are in your text, then this means that your whole theory is kaput, is finished. But you know what actually is the fact of the matter? In these texts, what is changed is the positions of the constellations in the months.
Yes.
But not in the paths. They are the same.
Yes. Interesting.
The paths are the same. And Herman Hunger agrees that this destroys my whole construction. Bullshit. So, but you see, most actually from these scholars in Assyriology, I'm trying to see who is good in 3D visualization, in astronomy, in some practical astronomy, visual, or at least knowledge in astronomy and mathematics. But I don't remember anyone. Maybe there are people that I don't know. I hope Steele is one of them. Steele. So the professor in Brown University who said that he will write review of my book, and he wrote this, I think, in 2015, or somewhere there. So to go back to this guy, Gary Thompson, he was destroyed, but there is another good story about him. When we were in good relations, I asked him for a picture, a photo of Kugler, this arch enemy coming from the dark force sent to destroy the culture and history and memory of Sumer and Mesopotamia. This Jesuit priest and professor in the Jesuit college.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Who destroyed the Pan-Babylonists and chained the Babylonian astrology for 100 years in a dungeon.
Yeah.
So this guy, Kugler, I didn't have a picture. And I wanted to see this guy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Kugler. I have all his volumes here in German. Several thousand pages. I don't know, 3,000, 5,000.
A lot of pages.
German. About Babylonian astronomy and astrology. He destroyed the Pan-Babylonists.
Yes. Yep.
And I destroyed him. So I wanted to have a picture of this guy. And Gary Thompson Send me one.
Mm.
He sent me.
Oh.
And I was very happy, and I put it in my in one of my I was like self-publishing a journal.
Yes, I remember the journal.
Babylonian Observer, Babylonian Sky Observer. It has 4 volumes, and in one of these volumes, I published this photo of Kugler on the cover. And of course, I sent it to Gary Thompson. And then in one post, he accused me of dishonesty because he said this guy is not only confusing the heads of all people with his crazy theories, but also he's dishonest because he published photo that I gave him without mentioning my name. But then I made it up to him because in my book, which you know, I on this page where is Kugler, right? This guy is Kugler. This guy,
very
Jesuit,
very innocent looking guy.
Well,
not.
Well, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Very, very,
Very dark looking.
very self-assured pride. So beneath the picture, photograph courtesy of Gary Thompson. In the book, Gary Thompson is in this book. Hey, hey, this will make him happy.
Yeah. Oh, that is so funny. That's hilarious. Wow. Wow.
You know, one story with Pingree.
Oh, yeah.
With Pingree. So I am sitting in his office in evening time, and we talk about this and that, and we talk about astrology in Sumerian times. And he tells me, oh, no, there is no evidence. There is nothing. There is nothing from Sumerian times which will talk about astrology. And I say, hey, relax, old man. I say, what about Gudea? What about the cylinders of the Sumerian king Gudea, who is from 2200 BC? Do you remember, old man? I tell Pingree that that in these cylinders, Gudea is told to build his temple towards a star on the sky, a rising star.
Yes.
And he tells me, oh, no, this is not astrological omen. This is a dream omen, because Gudea saw this in his dream. In his dream, a divinity told him to build the temple of the god of his country, oriented towards a rising star. This was because this was in a dream. This was a dream omen, and this dream omen, because it is a dream omen, doesn't have any connection with the sky and with astrology. So that's actually my addition. Actually, what he said was only this short phrase. Oh, no, this is a dream omen.
Yes.
You must be out of your mind.
Crazy. Oh, they're really twisted. It's crazy.
So Pingree was very, very narrow-minded and a very correct student of Neugebauer and of Kugler. Yeah. Yeah. And Pingree has a lot of publications, a lot of translations about the Omina, about many, many things connected with Babylonian astronomy and astrology. But in many places he makes errors, of course, throws confusion.
Yes.
Because he was confused in his head.
Yeah.
You know, if you have confused head, all your products solve confusion and are confused. Yeah, there are so many stories. This is only a small part.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So today is the 12th of October 2024. We are in Varna, Bulgaria. And we are talking about these interesting stories about assyriology, scholars, and different things.